I feel like our entire 2018 CrossFit Games competitive season could be summed up by the Uber rides I had to go to Madison, and then Noah had to come home from Madison. So I get picked up at my house in the Uber. We're driving down, I think it's a Prius or some electric car. I'm like trying to just stay calm, present, think about getting up there, getting into the Airbnb, getting set up, shopping, everything that I needed to do to get prepared. And the Uber driver wouldn't stop talking. And I was like, all right, well, whatever. I'm just gonna be, a good listener and just listen. So we get on the highway, we start driving down, and I see my Uber driver's face, she starts to panic. And I'm sitting in the back and I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? And all of a sudden, we're in Atlanta traffic, which is awful, and she's swerving over into the next lanes, which I think is like 6 lanes across. So she pulls over and she's like, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. And I'm like, calm down, I think you're panicking. Like everything's going wrong right now in your head and I have no idea what's going on. And she's like, my car's overheating, I'm so sorry, I have to get pulled over, the car might explode. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know anything about cars, but the car might explode. Like, this isn't good. So we ended up getting pulled over on the side of the highway, 6-lane highway in the middle of downtown Atlanta, underneath a bridge, right past an exit ramp. So I'm like, okay, well, this is great. I'm also really neurotic about not sweating in airplanes. I hate feeling sweaty or thinking like I'm the stinky guy who's sitting next to people and big and taking up space. So I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna get really hot in this car and I'm gonna be profusely sweating and soaked by the time we get to the airport. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna sit here and meditate for a while until she tells me what's going on. So she gets out of the car and she opens up the hood and she's like, there's antifreeze everywhere, the car's exploding. And I was like, all right, well, what do you want me to do? Should I just call another Uber? Can I help you? Like, you want me to push the car forward and we can try to get to an exit ramp and pull off? You wanna let the car cool off and we can get off? And she's like, no, I can't move this car, it's gonna explode. Like, this is gonna be bad. And I was like, all right, I need to get to the airport because I have a flight. I wanna help, I wanna be helpful. She's like, I'm gonna call Uber and get this trip canceled. And I was like, okay. So I ended up getting an Uber ride and it ended up working out, but that really should have been the moment where I had an experience to prepare me and foreshadow what was to come at the games. But I was stubborn and thought, it's good to get this adversity out before the games started.
The day after the games, so Monday morning, I don't know, I hadn't really processed my mood yet. I was a little bit bummed out, some feelings of positivity, but whatever, just like ready to go spend the day with Joanne, get a nice breakfast, and we call an Uber, walk out, get in the car, and the guy was an older gentleman and he was a Minnesotan, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but had like the heavy Minnesota accent, and was like, oh yeah, so did you watch the CrossFit Games this weekend, or were you guys here for the CrossFit Games? And I said, yeah, I was actually competing in it. And I don't know, that like didn't register with him, I guess, but he said, oh wow, yeah, those guys, they're just incredible, and just went on and on for 10 minutes about Matt Fraser and just how amazing he is, and was like, that Matt Fraser guy, man, I'm telling you, did you see him out there? He's incredible, and he's 5'7", 190 pounds, but he just looks like a gorilla. I kind of at one point was like, yeah, that event was really tough, I did that one as well, and he asked what place I finished in and I told him 6th, but it like didn't process and he just kept talking. I think maybe he didn't realize that we compete against each other, I don't know. I was just like, oh, get me out of this car.